All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sum 14 podcast. Today, I got my friend Jericho here with me. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Thanks for having me. It's pretty cool to be on here and, of course, talking to you again. It's been a while.
I know. Last time we were in school, basically, like online school, finishing that up. You know, it's been a weird experience, like doing online school, but now we have a whole semester of doing it. Like, what do you think about online school?
It's definitely going to be interesting. You know, last semester when we had it in spring, I was really sad because I had to leave like the dorms early. I know you're dorming too.
Yeah.
And that was a really sad experience. I wasn't the hugest fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
But of course it has its plus sides too. You know, being virtually, you have a lot more time and you're a lot more flexible since you're able to, you know, multitask while you're doing classes, as well as just be, you know, flexible in terms of like internships or jobs if, you know, that's what you're doing during the semester.
Yeah, because last semester we kind of switched like between the semester, so it was weird because, you know, like it happened right in March where all this started. So yeah, now it's going to be a full semester of it. And last semester we even had like the public speaking class. Like that was so weird having it online, just doing speeches online. Yeah.
It kind of like defeated the purpose of having the class because the way like our professor did it, like instead of like presenting over Zoom, like we kind of thought we just kind of like recorded ourselves.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even really public speaking, but I mean,
I just had my speech like right on the screen, and then I was reading it through, and instead of having it, you know, with the whole class there just watching it. So it's weird. Yeah. How'd you do it? Like, did you do it that way?
I still memorized it because I was kind of scared that she'd like dock off points.
Yeah, she didn't care at all.
That's good because I remember I proofreaded like Brandon's. I critiqued his speech, and I could see his eyes like going left to right, left to right.
I know. I don't think she cared because she was more thoughtful of like she wanted everyone safe. You know, like at that point, professors didn't really care about like you doing really well or on an assignment or whatnot. So luckily it wasn't that bad. But what are your expectations for this semester? Like, what do you think it's gonna be like?
Definitely gonna be harder than we saw in the spring. Because like as you said, like the main concern that our professors had were like our safety and our health. And like even like our poli-sci teacher kind of like toned it down like a lot, like taking down a lot of the assignments that we're supposed to do just because we're transitioning. But now that like we already kind of went through that phase, they're gonna like start getting back to normal. So we're gonna have to like really see what it's gonna be like doing virtual.
I know, because the professors aren't really like used to the online stuff. You know, they're used to teaching it in front of a class, but now they're gonna have to do the whole semester like that. So it's gonna be tough for them too.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be interesting too because like we're doing all this work to try and transition and work virtually. But like once COVID ends and then, you know, we get back to normal classes, all that is going to go out the window. I mean, we might see more virtual classes like this. And I was kind of thinking that for like international students, it might be more useful to have this virtual classes. They don't have to like fly all the way to the US and, you know, figure out their living conditions. But I think the majority of students really like the on-campus experience. You know, that's why we go to college.
Yeah, without the on-campus experience, like it's kind of weird going to college or like just studying. You know, with online, all you're doing is just working on your classes instead of, you know, interacting with other students. You know, you probably you see them in the Zoom classes, but you don't really just get to interact with them, right?
Yeah, it's not like you can like talk to the person next to you, right? People like the 5 minutes per class started, and you build that relationship. It's no, you just like you're muted. You might not even have a webcam, and you're on your phone probably just listening.
Yeah, with Zoom, you wake up like if you have a morning class, you just wake up right before the class. You know.
That's another thing. Because like I remember having like 8:30s, and like you wake up and you have to like rush to class. But now it's like just bring your laptop to bed, dude.
I know. Yeah, last semester like we both dormed there, and it was a fun experience. Like the first semester was really fun, and then second one got cut short, but it was still, a lot of fun just hanging out with people, meeting new people. That experience, like it has to be in person for it to really just, but times have changed, I guess. But we'll see how the full online is gonna go.
Yeah, I feel really bad for like these upcoming freshmen.
Yeah,
it's like dorm experience, like you look forward to that like a lot. Like that's the thing. Finally living on your own, and now it's like, yeah.
I was saying like some schools might do it, like probably not in California, but I don't know, maybe like private schools or some might do dorming a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I've actually I heard like a bunch of colleges, they tried to open up like this fall already, like trying to do it in person, but like the COVID, man, like people having like parties in the dorms, it's kind of ruins it for everyone. So it's like really unfortunate.
Yeah, I just heard like UConn, University of Connecticut, it was on the news that they were having parties and stuff, and they had to shut down all the housing for the whole school, and now it's just going to be like online only. So people who are reckless at this time need to like know the risk that they're taking,
For sure. And like the school too, like you can't expect having a bunch of like first year freshmen in the dorms to like be all compliant with like COVID. I feel like that's like a huge theme of like the current climate of the nation is like we're all just trying to jump into like going back to normal like too fast.
Yeah. And that's what's happened the first time, in California and other states as well. They tried to open up too quickly and thought everything was going to be good. Like they opened up bars in June and just wanted it to be back to normal because there was like a complete lockdown for a few months, right? And then after that, people weren't really like keen to just staying inside. So they wanted to get outside more. But while the restrictions were being like less and less, the cases went up drastically,
I know. Yeah, it's too bad too, because I remember when that happened, like I was like for sure that they'd extend like the quarantine lockdown. But when they didn't, I was like, wow, this is not going to end up well. And then, here we are.
Yeah. And now we're like, California is like the number one in cases, right?
Yeah. I mean, the US in general, it's like, we're just like pretty much a lot of people just ignoring it.
Yeah.
But it's just not going away. And it's not going to go away if you keep on ignoring it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think the government should have done? Like they didn't do a good job before. Like what do you think they should have done?
I think the main problem is that like we weren't strict enough, especially with Donald Trump. With the election coming up, he's trying to please his audience. And, a lot of Republicans, they're just not really believing in this virus. It's a hoax, obviously, killing millions of people. But so I think his main concern isn't really the nation, but it's more himself trying to get reelected. And it's pretty unfortunate. We're all kind of like, a lot of people are kind of sticking to themselves, but in reality, it's like your actions are affecting hundreds of thousands of people, like everywhere around you. Yeah. So I think, just being like more strict with the lockdown, being more like decisive. And it's kind of funny because it's kind of like, it's like really hard to do that when like a major part of like the American culture is like freedom. Like we have the freedom to do whatever we want. But right now we have to kind of give up that freedom, like for the better of our nation.
That's why there were like a lot of protests about it too, going on. And they're saying like you can't, or people were saying, I don't want to wear masks and protesting about that. But I mean, you look back in history where there's conflict, when we're in war and stuff, and people have lost some of their freedoms at times. And, that has to happen just because you want the betterment of the whole society, not just yourself, right? So
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a reason we can't just like drive down the freeway like 90 miles per hour. Like we have to give that up in order to feel safe driving. It's like literally the same thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of unfortunate that people like just aren't taking that into consideration when they're like acting out and going to all these places.
Mm-hmm. And like for me, I think like Trump needed to do a better job of like leading the country in the beginning. He didn't like have any speech, like any plan whatsoever, and it just kind of left the American people just questioning what if any of this is real, or like what are we going to do about it. It was all on them instead of having a leader to look up to and saying that everything's going to be okay. We got it under control. We're testing, we're doing this, we're doing that. Instead, he didn't really care at all. You know, he didn't like masks. He didn't do anything. Like,
even now it's like he's still fighting it, dude. Like, come on. And that especially made it hard for like states like California, like who are like trying their best to, you know, contain it and then make sure to put the health of like the citizens first. And then here it's like the actual like president be like, throw all that away.
Yeah. And then now the election's coming up, and have you heard about USPS and the controversy that's happening?
I can't, dude. I do not agree with that, man. I'm sure you can.
Yeah. The USPS basically it doesn't have enough money to like go through with normal business, and they're asking for relief from the government, but Trump is withholding that money just so the mail-in votes. He doesn't want that to happen. You know, that's stupid.
I know it's really weird because that kind of hurts him too. You know, since a lot of his audience is like older. Like typically, the older you are, you know, like more people that are older are Republican.
Yeah,
and he's, you know, the candidate for that party, so it's kind of like shot in the foot in a way. But I mean, it's just completely logical because like it's not just like the election that he's impacting. It's like the entire nation. Like so many people rely on USPS for like their business, or just, you know, connecting with like loved ones to like sending them like packages and stuff. So it's pretty detrimental.
Yeah. Especially, like you said, the businesses, a lot of businesses rely on shipping packages. You know, not everyone is like Amazon where they could do their own shipping and whatnot. So they rely on USPS. And there have been a lot of complaints now because a lot more people have been ordering online, online packages. And since the USPS is being like pretty much defunded, then they're having to slow down the delivery times, which is hurting like a lot of businesses, you know, customers complaining. And
it's not good for anyone, dude. And like I know like a lot of people might make the argument like, oh, there's like FedEx and like UPS, which are like more privatized, but like I mean, I don't know about you, but I have like pretty bad experiences with like UPS. I have a funny story actually. Like one time I was selling like a laptop on eBay, and like someone bought it in like New York. I'm like, okay, I'll use UPS because like, you know, why not? I think it was like the cheapest option based on like the dimensions of my laptop and like the weight and like where it's going. I was like, okay, I'll choose that. And then what happened was like I tracked it every day until it got there just to make sure that the package arrived safely. And you can see like it stopped at all the different like postal service places at UPS, and it gets up to like the final one where it's in the neighborhood of where the guy lives, and it arrived here. And then like 3 hours later, it was like, okay, it's in New York, and then it delivered in Florida.
Delivered in Florida.
And I'm like, maybe that's just a mistake. Maybe they reported it wrong. But the guy contacted me. He's like, hey, never received the laptop.
Damn.
And then I couldn't get insurance on that laptop, so I just had to refund him. So I just like lost my laptop.
Jeez. How'd they like miss a package and then redirect it all the way over there?
It has to be an error. Like it probably just got lost in New York because like it went all the way to New York. It's just like the final stop. It said it arrived in Florida. So
that's so weird. Whose house did it go to? Probably.
I have no idea. Someone got a laptop on their front porch for free.
They just like a new laptop, and they just random person just got it.
I know it feels bad, dude. But like whenever I use USPS for like eBay or just like sending out anything, I have like zero problems. Like it always arrives like within like 3 days, whatever they say. You can track it really easily. So it's like it's really unfortunate, you know.
Yeah. And isn't the USPS like already part of the government, or is it separate?
I thought it was like already like part of it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm not sure exactly. Like, we're not like really that into it, but uh, if it is part of the government, like they should get the funding they need to do this.
For sure. And like at the end of the day, like the government isn't like a for-profit company.
Yeah.
Like theoretically, it should be, like nonprofit where eventually the whole point is to give back to the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, USPS might be like running like at a negative, but like it's such an essential service that I feel like it kind of negates that. Again, I don't really know the numbers of actually how in the hole it was.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know how they got there. Like a lot of people use USPS. I don't know what their profits were and how much they were losing, but it seems like a lot since they've been they need like I think $3 billion from the government. So,
$3 billion. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how they got in that hole, but
yeah, especially right now, like COVID. Do you think people like would be using it more and more, and it would be getting more money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like Amazon, companies like Amazon, where they do their own shipping. Really, sometimes they use USPS, but most part they got their own trucks and stuff. They're doing really well right now.
I know. I remember one time I saw like 2 Amazon trucks like on like one street delivering packages. And it was just crazy how much like they're just like pushing in, pushing out. Yeah. I remember like even before COVID, before COVID started, like they were pretty much doing like 1-day shipping.
I know.
But of course, as like COVID happened and like things changed, like they had to dial back, but they were grinding out there.
Yeah. Right before COVID, I remember like they were doing the 1-day shipping. I would buy, something and it would come the next day, which is crazy. Like I just bought a few notebooks like for school and stuff, and it came the next day. Like they just had it. So, Prime, a lot of people are using Prime right now. A lot of people are online shopping. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't really imagine a life without Prime. I mean, I don't have Prime. I just use like my parents' Prime, but like it's still, it's like, it seems it's like kind of foreign now to wait like a week for a package.
Yeah.
It's like,
I got the student Prime.
Okay.
Like, have you used that before?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah. They give you like a 6-month free trial, and it's actually half off of the original Prime. Like for students, it's half off.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I might consider that. Yeah. Doing that instead of like the regular Prime. That's kind of cool.
You save 50%. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. And Prime's like pretty expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but it's pretty worth it. Like,
yeah. Now they have like the Prime Video included with it too, I think. So
yeah,
you watch like whatever they have on Prime Video. It's like Netflix, but for all of Amazon stuff.
Yeah, dude, Amazon's a monster right now. It's crazy to think like they started as like kind of like just like shipping out books and stuff, and here they are like Prime Video competing with Netflix, Amazon Music competing with like Spotify.
Mm-hmm. And they're they bought Twitch too, like the video platform Twitch, like the gaming. Do you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that though.
Yeah, they bought it out, and now they own it. And if you're a Prime member, you actually have like the Twitch membership as well included with it. So that's pretty cool.
They're taking over, man.
Yeah, they're getting everything they can. Yeah. Their stock is up too, right? Like it's almost like 3,000 now.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I wish I could invest in Amazon, but like that'll probably be my entire portfolio, just like one stock, Amazon. I mean, it would do well though, but like
yeah, it's insane how like right now I didn't expect like so many stocks to do well at this point, but they are. The market's been moving well.
It's been like a really interesting dynamic to see like how job numbers have been, just like unemployment just like skyrocketing, and here stocks are just doing fine. And I read this article about it, and it's like a big reason is because like people are predicting that stocks will bounce back after COVID, so they're buying now while it's pretty like low, and it's just like skyrocketing the price too. It's just like interesting, like the disconnect between like Wall Street, and hear how people are like suffering.
Yeah, and like Apple just hit $2 trillion like evaluation, which is crazy. You heard about that, right?
Mm-hmm. Join the club.
And they're the first company to do it. Like, I think Amazon and like Microsoft, they're up there too, like in the 1 trillion area. But $2 trillion, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember. Was Amazon the first to reach 1 trillion, or was it Apple as well?
It was Apple. They did it 2 years ago. They got 1 trillion, and here we are 2 years later, and it's 2 trillion. So it's insane.
I know, in 2 years, man.
Yeah,
it's like double that.
I think what really got them was like the AirPods. That was a huge product for them, because nothing like that. Like the iPhone, it comes out every year, but Apple didn't really have a product for a while that really stood out that a lot of people wanted. And then so AirPods came out and it changed the game, you know?
Yeah. And now like all their accessories like the Apple Watch too, they're just like booming. I remember like when they first came out, like people always like made fun of them, like with how they looked and stuff. Yeah. And then after it's like, like everyone has them. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. There were like memes about it and shit.
Yeah. And the Apple Pod Pros, dude. They just keep on going.
Yeah. And then that new the Mac Pro, like it was last year I think that they released it, and it was like a $6,000 monitor with a $1,000 stand and shit.
I know, it's so funny. Did you see the one for like the Apple wheels? I think they were like $400.
Yeah.
Like the new desktop.
Yeah, that's so expensive for wheels.
I know. Do you watch like Unbox Therapy?
Yeah, I watch his videos. Yeah.
Did you see the one where like he made like a skateboard out of those wheels?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
I love his videos where he's just like quiet the whole time, and then like he's just basically saying like, this is the dumbest product ever, where he just unboxes it and it's like a $100 cable or some shit, and he just stays quiet the whole time. Like, why do you need $100 cable?
I know. I mean, that's what we're all thinking. It's crazy how like they think they can like get away with that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, people are buying like most of their other products though. Like I don't think they'll buy like $400 wheels, but
yeah,
iPhones, and you know that I think the new one's coming out next month, right? Like September, they usually come out.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too delayed because of what's happening, but yeah, we'll see how it competes to like the other market, Yeah. And I'm not sure how true this is anymore, but I remember I read this article like not too long ago where it's like Apple's sales from their accessories alone, from like the AirPods and like the Apple Watches, was actually higher than Starbucks like entire revenue.
Really?
So yeah, like just from like the accessories.
Yeah, because they probably do a lot of profit, because they could probably make it for a lot less than what the retail value they put it at. I know. I think the AirPods start at like $160 for like a small thing. Yeah, so I mean, I know they do a lot of research and development to engineer it, but to be a $2 trillion company, you gotta sell some high end products.
I know, and the hype just keeps on going up and up and up. You know, so they have that for them.
Yeah, another company with a lot of hype is Tesla right now. They got, I think the stock just went to $2,000 today.
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty insane, dude.
Yeah. And Elon Musk, I don't know, like every time he tweets, like maybe the stock goes up. It could go up or down with one tweet he does.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember I think it was like 2 years ago when he tweeted like, oh yeah, I don't really care that much about like Tesla's or like SpaceX's stock, and it just like boom, like 10% or something. Yeah. And then like the shareholders, like they got mad at him, the board of directors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Roadster was supposed to come out this year, but I think it got delayed because of coronavirus and stuff. So that car, like, have you looked at that?
Was that the
Roadster?
one where it's like, It was like the truck, right?
No, that's the Cybertruck.
Oh,
This
Cybertruck.
one
Yeah.
he announced, I think, 2 years back. He was saying it was supposed to come out in 2020. And it's like a sports car. They had their first car was a roadster, basically like a 2-seater car, and then now they're getting an updated version of it, and it's supposed to go like 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. Shit, so
Oh my God.
yeah. He's like planning to put like rocket boosters in it and shit, like
That would be so
small
funny.
little, yeah, that he's insane. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty expensive, but I think people are like really excited to get it, you know.
hmm Yeah, I don't follow Tesla that much, but like, I mean, just hearing that, I'm pretty hyped for the videos to see them on YouTube and stuff. Of just people just like messing around with them.
Yeah, because like that type of car, like all electric, is different than what most high end cars are doing. Like you see Ferraris and Lamborghinis, they're all, you know, gas vehicles, but with the electric car, you get like more acceleration and torque, which is going to be interesting to see, you know, how they compete against like gasoline cars, you know.
For sure. I mean, it's definitely like an emerging market that he's like definitely like kind of trailblazing for. So
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just want to like add on to like the fact that like I remember my friend, like he actually like owned a Tesla, and he like took me and my other friend in it.
Mhm.
And he's like, watch this, and he just like presses on the middle, dude. And we just like zoom, and it scared me so much because that's like the first time I've been like a Tesla with like that.
Yeah. My uncle, he has one too, and I drove it like for a little bit,
Oh.
and yeah, it has some nice speed, you know, quick acceleration, and he has the SUV one, the Model X, so it's
Mhm.
like a bit bigger, but it's still really quick, you know, right when you hit the gas. And they're like, what I don't like is the interiors. To me, like it's too minimalistic, you know. They just have a screen there, and like that's it. Like
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
else. Like nothing, no glove compartment or any other like buttons besides the screen. You know,
Yeah.
do you like that kind of style?
I do kind of like it, but I'm also scared like if I do get like a Tesla, that it's gonna be like really distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Just like switching in between like the screen and like playing with the like different settings, but like it's kind of like gotta self control yourself while you're driving, you know. But
Yeah.
with like a regular car, like I just have my phone just like blasting the music, and I'm just like driving, you know. It's like really bare bones.
Yeah. And there have been some electric car manufacturers that like are trying to compete, but I think Tesla, like they're the best right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you see like a lot of Model 3s on the road, like over here in California, like Southern California. Every time I drive, I see at least like two or three Model 3s like on every street like I turn into. Like there's so many Model 3s out there. My neighbor, he has a Model 3 like next to
yeah,
me.
same.
Yeah.
It's right there. I can look outside and see it.
Yeah. Crazy.
I know. And that's kind of the cool thing about like the Teslas is like not only is it like sustainable, it's, you know, advancing technology in like the car industry as well as like AI.
Mhm.
But they also like look really nice. I really like the design of them. They're popular in all aspects.
Yeah. How do you like the like autopilot? Do you think that's going to be big in the future?
Honestly, like I feel I'm not too sure about it because I feel like a lot of people like still are like really scared of it is having like a vehicle drive like around. But I know like one of my AP computer science teacher, he had it, and like every day he actually like bragged about like the fact that his car drove him.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna take like a long time for people to be comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like I think the main danger is that like if we let like kind of like cars like drive us, and like it'll like diminish our ability to drive too. So that's like another concern that we have to like balance out.
Because right now what Tesla is doing is they're allowing like partial autonomous driving, which is basically only on the highways on where there are clear lines marked and everything. So that's allowing them to collect the data, which they could use for, making it better. So they always have new software updates coming in. As more drivers use it, they could collect that data and make it better and then now they're trying to get it into the streets as well. Like, so it could detect stop signs now, could detect like what cars in front of you, behind you, like on the side, the signal lights, which is, that's crazy to think that, we're getting to that point where a car could take you from, like, you could get in your car, set the destination, and the car can go right to where you want.
For sure. I mean, it'd be kind of cool too if like partner up with like people like Uber, where, like they kind of sell those cars just as actually, like regular taxis.
Yeah, that's a great idea right there. Because especially now, like with the social distancing, if you just get in the car, and of course you would have to like make it protected where they can't like get into the driver's seat and like steal the car basically.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but that would be a great idea for Uber.
Yeah, especially in like places where like San Fran, where it's just like so inconvenient to have a car. You have to pay like $50 every day just to go to work compared to the parking. Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, and I think for trucking, it's also going to be good. I think Tesla is having their own electric truck as well, which is going to have that. And for like long distance drives, going from like Chicago to LA, like driving a truck, it takes hours and hours to do that. And with a self-driving truck, like the drivers could just like sit back while they're on this like open road where there's nobody, or there's just like a road in front of them for like 200 miles going down until they had to like stop or something. That'll be effective for them.
For sure, because they can actually like go out and like stretch. They don't have to be like sitting the exact same position, and like it's I can't imagine being a trucker because like you have to stare at this open road for like hours and hours, and you can't really lose focus because if you, one wrong like car tries to like cut you off, and like the entire cargo just like truck just like flip,
like when you're in traffic, you're kind of more attentive because there are more cars around you, but when there's no cars and you're just like holding the steering wheel, like you get tired, just like staring at this one road this whole time.
It's definitely like a really unhealthy lifestyle too. It's been having like to sit down for all those hours, and then I've heard like so many like horror stories of like tight deadlines where like they had to go on for like 15 hours like just driving straight.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think now they have regulations where you can't drive like I think more than 10 hours a day, and you had to sleep a certain amount of hours as well. So, but I think with electric and autonomous, the companies will also have a better time with trucks as well, because the trucks don't really have to stop for that and rest for that time. Like the truck could just keep going while the other person's resting, or it kind of just like helps out, both the company and the person, until like the AI like just like it learns enough to like just drive completely on its own, and then like truckers kind of lose their job. Yeah, that would suck as well for them, but that's where it's heading. It looks like. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like kind of unfortunate to think about, because it's not just like the truckers that lose their job, but like those like trucker stop towns where like pretty much like only thing in there is like a bunch of like fast food restaurants and just a bunch of like rest areas. Well, like if there aren't any truckers to go there, then like the entire economy of that town's going to go to waste.
Yeah, the future holds a lot of uncertainties. So I mean, the 2020 election is coming, and we're now like old enough to vote and everything. So, what do you think is going to happen in this election, like 2020?
I'm kind of like skeptical to say like any predictions. I remember last election, everyone's like, oh yeah, Hillary's going to win, no biggie. And then boom, Trump just came in
I know.
Wipe the floor down.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it was unpredictable, like especially right now where the country is so divided, like, or it seems like it. I don't know if it actually is, but it just seems like on social media and what you see on the news, you know, it's really unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I remember like some of the teachers at my school like actually like cried.
Really?
Like yeah, like during class.
Yeah,
like when the election results came out.
I remember I was sophomore year in high school, and I was in AP World History, and the election happened like on the weekend, I think, like on the weekend the results came in, but the day before, our class held like a vote of who would win. Most people picked Hillary to win, and then we came back the next day, and here we are, like sitting in the class. Trump won, and like none of the teachers really like my teacher didn't really believe it. Like he was like all the polls showed that Hillary would win, but you know Trump just came out in all the other states.
Yeah, it's like surprise attack, man. Like boom, he was just right there.
I know, but now with I think the Democratic convention was going on these past few days, right? I was seeing that on Twitter and stuff. So it has to be held like all virtually now. With you can't go to, like, the candidates can't go to certain cities and states to like rally and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a different election this year.
I know. It'll definitely be pretty interesting. Especially since it'll be like our like first presidential election. Yeah.
It's probably going to be like voting by mail too, which is yeah. I mean, we have to just do it like just because of the time we're in, but first time voting, it's exciting, you know.
Yeah. I mean, at least we were able to vote in like the primaries.
Yeah.
Got a little sticker.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that. They had that on campus too, right? Like one of those polling stations.
Yeah, it was like right by the dorms too. Yeah, that was pretty easy for us.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, but it's exciting to see what this election has to bring forward, and you know we'll see what happens. Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, man, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Yeah,
of course, dude.
Thanks everyone for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and we'll talk to you guys next time. All right.
Thank you so much, Shyam.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.